Welcome back to The Explainer. Look, today we're jumping right into a really incredible piece of text, a poetic stanza where the speaker literally decides to leave the entire modern world in the dust for a sanctuary called the Isle of Innisfree. We're going to break this down line by line, pull out the hidden allusions, and dig into some surprisingly rich historical symbolism. It's a fascinating look at escape and inner peace, so let's get right into it.
I mean, have you ever just wanted to drop everything and move to the woods? It's completely okay if you have. It's such a relatable modern-day urge, right? That sudden, overwhelming desire to just unplug from the rat race, escape the constant noise, and disappear into nature. That burnout, that longing for peace, it's totally universal. And honestly, what's so amazing is that this exact urge connects us directly to the mindset of the speaker in our text. We literally feel exactly what they feel.
Okay, so part 1, the call to Innisfree. The speaker kicks things off by announcing their intentions loud and clear. They're going to arise and go now. But here's the crucial detail. The word go is used exactly twice in the very first line. And you know that's not an accident. This repetition is a deliberate move to visually and rhythmically hammer home the speaker's absolute determination. There's no hesitation here, no turning back. The mindset is locked in, and this journey is happening.
Which brings us to part 2, a minimalist life in nature.
In the poem's second line, we get the actual blueprint for this grand escape. The speaker plans to build a small cabin, but look at the materials they're going for: clay and wattles. We're not talking about a massive mansion or some complicated modern setup here. Think about how grounding that is, to literally build your shelter from the earth right beneath your feet. Just woven branches and wet clay. By choosing these ancient, simple materials, the speaker is showing us their deep desire to live a truly minimal life. They are intentionally shedding all luxury. Because the ultimate desire here is to be completely immersed in nature, stripping away the complicated mess of modern life, and just getting back to basics is a massive theme unfolding here. And it's so important to realize that the speaker isn't just running away from something. They're actively running toward a pure, unbothered existence. It's the pursuit of true simplicity, where success isn't about wealth, but about how closely you can live alongside the natural elements.
All right, let's peel back another layer, part 3, the secret in the beans.
So there's more to this cabin in the woods than just dirt and branches. The speaker explicitly says they dream of planting bean plants in their garden, but they are incredibly particular about the amount, exactly 9 rows. Now, anytime a number is that specific in literature, we have to stop and ask, well, why? Why not 10? Why not just a whole field? Well, this isn't really about agriculture at all. That specific number is a highly powerful, hidden, spiritual illusion.
Those 9 bean rows are actually a direct allusion to the 9 fruits of the Holy Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. I mean, think about how brilliantly that layers meaning into the text. The speaker isn't just planting vegetables to physically survive. They're actively cultivating these exact virtues in their newfound isolation. By planting exactly 9 rows, they're transforming a simple little garden into a profound spiritual sanctuary where their soul can finally heal.
Moving on to part 4, the symbolism of the bee. So right alongside those beans, the speaker mentions wanting a hive for honeybees. And this introduces some incredibly rich historic symbolism. The bee is actually a fascinating dual symbol. On one hand, it represents pure devotion. Just think about the intense way bees revere and protect their queen. But on the other hand, it represents profound selflessness. Honeybees don't labor for themselves, right? They labor endlessly for the collective good of the hive. They're the ultimate embodiment of working for a cause greater than themselves. To really capture this noble selflessness, we can look at a gorgeous quote from St. John Chrysostom. He said, "The bee is more honored than other animals, not because she labors, but because she labors for others." That is just beautifully put, isn't it? It elevates the insect, turning it into this almost holy example of hard work and community care. It completely transforms the buzzing in the background of the poem from just mere wildlife into a literal moral compass for the speaker's new life.
And, you know, there's a really deep, rich history here, too. Beekeeping is actually an ancient Catholic tradition. Hives were constantly kept right on monastery grounds because they just seamlessly provided for humanity's absolute basic needs, with absolutely zero excess.
They gave honey for medicinal uses and crucial food sources, and wax for candles and light. The monks understood that bees were fundamentally tied to sustaining a pure, simple, self-sufficient life. They quietly provided exactly what was needed and nothing more.
So when you look at it that way, by specifically asking for a beehive, the speaker is craving something way bigger than just a sweet treat. They are asking for a life modeled entirely on this incredible insect, a life that is selfless, devoted, and simple enough to only satisfy our primary human needs. It's a complete rejection of the excess and greed of human society. Food, livelihood, medicine, all just quietly provided by the humble bee.
But wait, because there's a catch. Let's look at part 5, the ultimate ironic twist. So there's this really brilliant contradiction tucked right into the end of the stanza. The speaker is desperately desiring to live entirely alone in this glade. But think about the irony for a second. They want total, absolute isolation, yet they are deliberately planning to move in with a bustling company of tens of thousands of highly social bees. I mean, bees strictly survive in a company. They literally cannot exist in isolation. So our speaker is running away from human society, only to build a cabin right next door to one of the most complex, densely populated societies in all of nature. But honestly, even with that fantastic bit of irony, the overarching truth of the stanza is still just deeply moving. What the speaker truly wants, right at their core, is a simple life in accordance with nature. The clay cabin built from the earth, those 9 rows of beans representing spiritual fruits, the humming bees providing primary needs. It all points to a profound sanctuary away from the exhaustion of the modern world. It really is a masterpiece of minimalist yearning. And that leaves us with a final, pretty provocative question. Is true solitude actually possible, or do we all secretly crave the hum of a community? Even when we want to escape to our own remote Isle of Innisfree. Maybe, just like the speaker and their honeybees, we all ultimately need a little bit of company in our isolation. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope this deep dive gave you a fresh perspective today. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you next time.